Welcome to episode 36 of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. I am your host, Steve Hamoan. Today we have an interesting update for you about a significant development in Wasaga Beach. The Town Council has decided to put the former Wasaga Arena property up for sale, and it has some major implications for the local real estate market. The former Wasaga Arena is now on the auction block, with the town looking to get at least $5.5 million for it. The proceeds from this sale will be directed toward advancing the development of town-owned lands at Beach Area 1. This is just one of several surplus properties that the town plans to sell to fund an estimated $19 million in capital works needed before development can commence at the beachfront. The work at the beachfront is expected to start in 2025. According to a report to the Council from Director of Recreation and Facilities Chris Roos and Chief Financial Officer Jocelyn Lee, the town only received one response to a request for proposals for the property. This was back in March, and unfortunately, the proposal did not meet the minimum scoring threshold and was ultimately rejected. Following this, a second review by senior staff, including the Chief Administrative Officer and Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, provided three options for the council to consider: repurpose the building as a field house, sell the property, or develop it through a public-private partnership for affordable housing. They ultimately recommended selling the land and using about $5.5 million of the proceeds to advance the development of the town-owned properties at Beach Area 1. The sale of the lands will also help cover a $14.7 million gap in development charge revenue needed for the beachfront work. As of the end of June, the town had only collected $1.1 million in development charges and was likely to see a shortfall between $1 million and $2.5 million from the $5.4 million that was originally projected for 2024. In her report, Jocelyn Lee stated that the current trend, based on the approved capital budget for the year, would put the town's development charge reserve account into the red. Chief Administrative Officer Andrew McNeil commented, "I think we're in the bottom of the market, but we're starting to climb. That's encouraging, and this is nothing new. Other municipalities have gone through this before." McNeil added, "What we are trying to do is get our house in order. We have real estate holdings. We've forgotten what we actually own. So it's prudent in this temporary lull that we're in if we can bridge the gap before the market comes back and unlock value in some of our land so we don't have to raise taxes. We don't want to raise taxes to bridge this when we can unlock and get value out of lands that are not being used." The former arena site is expected to go on the market and be sold within the next 60 to 90 days. Revenue from the sale will go into a guaranteed investment certificate until the town is ready to move ahead with capital work for the beachfront. Councillor Joe Belanger stated, "We have a priority that must move forward. We have been at this juncture many times before, and the community is excited we're finally going to do something. A setback is something we have to avoid at all costs." Councillor Richard White raised a valid concern about what could happen if a future council faces the same situation and no longer has the opportunity to sell property. Jocelyn Lee responded that the money from current land sales would be used to build the infrastructure necessary for future development, which would then generate the needed revenue. She estimated that future development could raise an additional $3 million to $4 million annually in tax revenue, as well as development charges that would fund infrastructure in the future. Mayor Brian Smith also weighed in, stating that other governments at all three levels face similar challenges and are solving them in similar fashion by selling property. Mayor Smith said, "We have a lot of surplus land. This is not a new concept. We're not selling out the future of Wasaga Beach and getting rid of every piece of property so we'll never be able to put in another park. The reality is, new development is going to have to give us land in order to put parks in place." That wraps up today's episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. I hope you found this update on Wasaga Beach's real estate developments informative. As always, stay tuned for more insights and updates in the world of Ontario real estate. Until next time, I am Steve Hamoan, wishing you a great day.